This is officially day 6. Closing in on the week. About to end the week tomorrow. Feeling pretty good this week. Today I kind of wanted to talk about repetition and recognizing patterns. So yeah, what I mean when I say repetition and noticing patterns is catching yourself doing the same things that you used to do or currently are still doing but trying to fix. And that's a really good way to catch yourself. That's a really good way to track progress and see how much you are growing and changing, is comparing yourself to now and a week ago, maybe a month ago, a year ago. Are you that same person? And if so, what are you currently doing to be the different person that you're trying to reach? And basically I wanted to talk about this because I myself had problems in the past where I just repeat. I'd be stuck in repetition, doing the same things, and I noticed the pattern. I just never really did anything to stop this cycle. And it's that's a bad thing to get caught in, especially if you're in bad habits, especially if you're cycling through bad things, whether that's using stuff to ease pain or ease your consciousness, whether you're having certain bad habits. Maybe you are treating people a certain way. Maybe you're saying things differently. Maybe, whatever the case may be. But recognizing things you did in the past is going to help you a lot to see where you are at and where you are going in the future. So one of the things I like to use as an example is in the past I had a problem with just if I'm a pretty argumentative person, which isn't that good, only if I decide to be a lawyer, but I'm not going to be a lawyer. It's good to be able to argue, but it's also bad because you need to argue for the right thing and you need to argue right. Arguing for me was a bad problem because I'd always try to be right. I was always just kind of not a know-it-all. I don't want to call myself a know-it-all, but I would always want to be right. Rather than knowing I was right, I would just want to be right. So I would notice myself talking really to anyone, family, friends, in a relationship. I would, want to be right, and I'd want to just get my argument across, but then I'd end up just repeating one point in different phrases. I'd just paraphrase what I said and say it again over and over until the other person eventually was like, well, you're just saying the same thing, so I'm done. And looking back at it, it's annoying. I would hate to be talking to someone like that, to be honest, because I can see how that can be very frustrating and very annoying for someone to deal with. So I haven't been in much arguments recently, because I just I caught that pattern. I caught that the recognition clicked, and I was like, that's something I did a lot. So I guess realizing things that you might be doing and what is that? I'm gonna have to cut this part. All right, back from the cut. Some weird train thing was passing. I don't even know what it was. It wasn't a train, but back to the repetition. Catching yourself when you're doing things like that is good. It's great to acknowledge, and it'll help you move forward because, you know, slowly realizing these patterns, you can, you know, write them down. You could tell them to somebody, you know, video record them. And, you know, the more you tell yourself that, the more you'll see that it's not good, and the more motivation and drive you will have to want to change it and to, you know, want to do better and, you know, stuff like that. Don't get caught in a cycle that you don't want to be in, right? I definitely have been caught in a loop a few times of behavior and the way I would say and do things. And it wasn't fun because what it does is for me, I'm going to use my relationship as an example. Always saying things are going to change and then doing nothing about it. Like not changing, not putting really any effort into it. And that would put in a cycle where, you know, we'd be good for some time. Then it'd be blamed. It would be just this kind of weird feeling of awkwardness and like this sense of just, you know, lack of wanting to communicate or talk. So looking back on that, well, you know, is helping me realize that, you know, I never really did change. I never really did want to change or put effort to the change. So, you know, stuff like that is going to help you, you know, progress. You know, and when I say it's good to compare, I mean it's good to compare yourself to the past, like to who you were. Don't go in, you know, compare yourself to someone that's just on a different level, right? Like me, I love fighting, and I do think I have some skill for it, but I'm not going to sit here and try to compare myself to like Max Holloway or, you know, some Ilia Topuria, some crazy good fighter, you know, because then what that does is it puts you in your place, and then you lose motivation, right? Because I'm nowhere near the level those guys are at. And that could kill motivation for people. It's like, oh, you know, I just want to be that, but I'm not. Well, it's like you just started, you know, you still have so much time. So, yeah, recognize patterns, look at the old you and better, you know, move forward. So, yeah, I'll probably end it right there, keeping it a little bit shorter. But, yeah, if you recognize patterns, things can change, and it'll help you show you where you want to be. So, yeah, guys, as always, thank you for the support. Thank you for watching the videos, and I'm hopeful that things will get better, and I hope you guys are too, because things will get better. So, bye, thank you, and have a good one.